Good morning, everybody. Happy Wednesday. And just came on here a little impromptu. I'm going to try to do better with scheduling these things so that you guys can hop on and get in the room. So I'm going to just give it a second for people to come in the room. If you're already in, say hello, say good morning. It's a Wednesday. And I'm going to talk about something. We have been in leadership development at the Well, and it's something that keeps coming up. So I feel like sometimes when it's something that's keep coming up, I feel like it's something that we should just widely have the conversation around. And so I want to talk about it, but I want to give it a couple minutes for some people to come in. So say hello when you come in the room. Hey, good morning, Taryn. Good morning. Good morning. I just choose to use Restream a lot of times because there are people that are on YouTube. Everybody doesn't use Facebook, and that's another whole thing when it comes to your audience and things. Everybody is not on Facebook, so just having multiple platforms that people are able to use. So this gives me the opportunity to use multiple platforms at one time. But good morning, y'all. Happy Wednesday. Let me tag some people in here really quickly. Let's see. I think this is going to help us today to really move forward um, in what we're called to do. Because I think a lot of times the title today is You Belong in the Room. And the reason why I named this You Belong in the Room is because oftentimes we don't believe that we belong in the rooms that we're sent to be in. I think oftentimes when people even call us into the rooms that they believe or they're even asking of us because they can see that we're capable of being in the room, a lot of time we still downplay ourselves and still believe, why are you calling me? Why do you want me here? But evidently, if someone is calling you to be in a room, it's because they see something in you or they see that you are doing the work that they're looking for. And so you have to know it, you have to believe it, you have to understand that you are capable of being in the room. But I want to talk about why a lot of times we don't believe that we deserve to be in the rooms that we're in. And one of the things that we talk about a lot in coaching and is imposter syndrome. Right? Imposter syndrome is an internal experience or feeling that you have that you're not capable, qualified, or deserving as other people believe that you are. Okay, that you are not capable, qualified, or deserving as other people believe that you are. And so we are journeying through, y'all. We're coming the Well, of course, we're a baby, and so we're getting to the space where like, okay, we got to get some leadership in place. It's time to do some license, some ordination, different things like that. And so, of course, we have the conversation with who we feel like with God, who do we feel like is ready for elevation? We feel like is ready, to navigate in this space, right? And so, as we're having the dialogue, good morning, about who's ready for elevation, all those different kind of things, and so I'm, having a conversation with the individuals, and they're like, well, I don't feel like, I'm ready, or I don't think this is where I'm supposed to be, right? But I wanted to say, y'all drop in the chat, it's just a couple of us this morning, that I belong in the room. Right. That's my encouragement for you guys, that I belong in the room. And so many of them that I had the conversation with said, I don't believe I belong here. I don't believe I'm supposed to be here. I don't think this is something I'm supposed to be doing. But again, imposter syndrome is the internal experience of feeling like you are not capable, you are not qualified, you are not deserving as people believe that you are. And so, Tanya, if I call you and I say, hey, listen, girl, I need you to show up, I need you to be X, Y, and Z, it's because I see something in you. I see that you are capable of doing X, Y, and Z. And so, yes, and I believe that you're capable of doing it. And so the issue is there's an internal thing, there's an internal fight that we go through, right? When someone calls us to be in a room, even those of us that are already walking out what we're doing, we're still a little scared, and worried, and don't believe that we are worthy or capable of the thing that you're already doing. And that's what I was trying to get my people to understand, is that if I'm calling you to be in this leadership room, then that means I see something in you. I'm not just going to pick you because I know you, but I see something in you that lets me know that you are capable. Here's the other piece. Not that I know that you're capable, but I also can see something that you cannot see. And so I was one of the girls called me and she was like, Pastor, I just don't think that this is for me. And I said, well, why do you think that it's not for you? Because you're already doing the work. Yes, there are titles that come that sometimes titles can make what we're doing scary, right? But the work aspect of what it is that you're called to do, you already doing it. So why do we get scared? And I'm getting ready to help you as to why we get scared. And the reason why we get scared, Tanya, Taryn, is because we can see the future, right? Because we can see the big picture. And the problem often is that you are trying to see yourself at 10 years instead of understanding that I am built for where I am right now. And the reason why I can talk to you guys about this is because I've been there before, right? I've been in the place here recently where I'm like, God, why, you want me to pastor this church? And of course, I see where God wants to take the well. And it was so scary. Like Tanya said, she was like, elevation is scary, but it's necessary, right? We have to be a people that are willing to step up. I laugh because there are so many people that complain about leadership. They complain about good leaders. They complain about good people, but they complain about bad hairstylists. They complain about all these things that, they consider bad, right? But here's the other part to that is that we're also not always willing to be the one. Come on, can anybody say today, like, I'm willing to be the one? It's scary, yes, but we can't talk about how there's so many bad business owners, but we know that we're a good business owner and we're not willing to step up and do what we need to do. Right? I belong here. I belong in the room. I belong in this position, right? I belong in this lane. No, I don't know how to do everything. No, I don't have all of the things that other people have. But the thing about living in a moment is that your moment is not asking you to have all of the things, right? Your moment is asking you to maximize where you are right now. And that is the hardest thing for us to do. The hardest thing. Because yes, I can see myself. I can see myself owning spas and owning salons and owning moments and having all these businesses and all these things. I can see myself doing those things. And we think because of the fact that I'm not there yet, it negates where you are right now. Where you are right now is not canceled by your future. It is the stepping stone. Hear me this morning. I don't know who I'm helping, but it is the stepping stone to your future. This is the preparation for where you're going. And so they came into the room and they said, oh my God, like this is so scary. Why would you pick me, to be a leader? One, because you're already doing it. And I'm not asking you to be the person that preaches. I'm not asking you to be the person that carries the service. What I'm asking you to do right now, good morning, sis. What I'm asking you to do is just maximize this moment right now. This is what I need you to do. I see where you're going, but I'm not asking you to be the future you. I'm asking you, this is so good to my soul. I'm asking you to be the present you. That's all. I'm asking you to be the present you. And that's all God is asking you to do, right? Or whatever you choose to worship, because y'all know how I am. I'm faith-based. So whatever you choose to worship, however you choose to worship, I would choose to worship God. But whatever you worship, right? God is not asking you to be the future you. He's like, I need you to be the present you. So imposter syndrome begins to creep in because I feel like I'm not qualified for my future. And God is saying, I'm not asking you to be qualified for your future. I'm asking you to be qualified for the moment, because the moment is what prepares you for the future. So even though you don't have, and I'm getting ready to drop a video today, even though you don't have like the big business and the big following, the big everything, you don't have to have the big of all those things in order for you to manage your business like you are a big business, right? But you also don't have to be in certain places to just go and get it started. Maximize and steward the people that you have well. If you don't have a lot of clients, that's okay. Steward the ones that you have well. Let me tell you, when you steward the ones that you have well and you give them your all, they become your referral. They become your voice. They become the one, listen, that will drop your name into rooms. But here's the thing. You have to know that you are the one, because if you don't know that you are the one and that you belong in the room, it does not matter. I feel God on this. It doesn't matter how many people drop your name in a room. If you don't believe that you belong in the room, you'll never walk through the room. You'll never walk in the room. Good morning. So you got to believe that I am the one. You got to believe that you're capable. The one thing about imposter syndrome oftentimes is that part that says, I'm not qualified, right? I'm not qualified for X, Y, and Z. Yes, sis, it's so real. I'm not qualified for this. But here's the thing. Why do you believe, like, good morning, that you're not qualified for something that you're already doing, already operating, already moving, already in? Who says that you're not qualified, right? Oftentimes it is that comparison, right? We've talked about this. That comparison is the thief. Come on. It is the thief of joy. And many of you are not enjoying where you are, Tamanisha. You cannot enjoy your present moment because you are so stuck in comparison. You're looking at somebody else's 5 year compared to your 1 year. So you're like, oh, I don't belong here. I'm not supposed to be here. Why do y'all choose me? Why are they picking me? Or you shrink yourself, or you don't even go in rooms. You stay stuck in isolation. Blessings, sis. Or you stay stuck in isolation. And that's where many of us are, right? We're just off to a corner hiding by ourselves because imposter syndrome has told us that we don't belong here, right? And imposter syndrome has told us what we're not capable of doing. Imposter syndrome has told us what we're not qualified for. But y'all drop in the chat. I'm coming out of that. Come on. I'm coming out of that. I'm coming out of that. I say this all the time, that I am prepared for who I am prepared for. I can't look for and this is, I'll be honest, the scary part for me is I can see the well as multiple campuses, right? I can see the well in multiple places. And I'm like, oh God, it's scary. But I had to realize that God is not asking me to be prepared for multiple campuses. Yes, that is the vision that he's given me. But he said, listen, I have already prepared you for the one campus that you are at right now. And that needs to be your focus. Don't focus on all the multiple different things that God might be calling you to do. He's saying just focus on the one. And this one you are prepared for. You are equipped for this. Don't look at other people's churches. Don't look at other people, what they're doing, how they're operating. But understand you are capable. That's what I see, y'all. I'm coming out of that. I'm coming out of that. I'm coming out of that. Right? I just got lucky. That's what we say, right? They gonna find out I don't know what I'm doing. Yes, you do know what you're doing. You don't have to know everything. And this is what I was telling my leaders the other day. I say, you don't have to do everything. For what you don't know, you go find out. I don't know everything about pastoring. And what I don't know, I go find out. A situation came up the other week, and it was a real deep counseling thing in the members, right? And I said, one of the elders called and was like, well, what you gonna do? I said, I'm gonna call somebody that know. I am. I'm going to call somebody that knows, that can help guide me through this situation. This is why we are struggling as a community. This is why we are struggling in ministry. This is why we are struggling in businesses, because we don't know how to collaborate. We don't know how to ask for help. Come on. We don't know how to get around people that know more than what we do. I don't know. I was like, I don't know how to navigate this situation. I immediately got on the phone and said, hey, listen. This is what we got going on. How do I handle this? Because the thing about God is that he's not asking me to know everything. All God needed is my yes. There are people around us that we need to know how to tap into, that know more. But I first had to be willing, Leah, to accept the fact that I belong in the room. If you never come to terms with how that you belong in the room, can I tell you guys that you are going to suffer wherever you go? You're going to go through wherever you go. I just came to boost your confidence this morning. I just came to let you know and to remind you that where you are right now, that God called you to be there, that where you are right now, this is where you're supposed to be. Yes, you're going to have challenges. Yes, it's going to be hard sometimes. No, it's not going to always be easy. Yes, there are going to be people that seem like they're going to surpass and go faster and go further. Yes, it's going to seem like it's easy for other people. Man, I feel God. It's easier for them. God, why is it it not easy for me? Why does it seem like everything is so hard for me to get through? I've always had to overcome hard moments. But can I tell y'all something this morning? That just because it's hard, Tamanisha, doesn't mean it's not God. Just because you have challenges doesn't mean that it's not God. But I promise you that all things will work together for your good. I promise you that every hard moment, every challenge, it will make you. And this is why I can tell people that even in the midst of, I love the coaching, right? And how now you can pay for things and pay for things that kind of help you surpass. But I'm gonna be honest, there are some things that I got in life that I would never get in a course. There are some things that I learned through my ups and downs, Tanya, that I will never learn in a course. You know why? Because trial and error is the best teacher. I don't care what nobody say. Every challenge, failure that I've experienced made me who I am. Did I take the L? Yes. Did I lose money? Yes. Did I lose resources? Yes. Did I lose friends? Yes. But all of it made me who I am. It helps me to build better. Somebody drop in the chat. It helps me to build better. We let fear take over and block all kinds of blessings. Yes. That's what imposter syndrome does. But my challenges have helped me to build better. Every L that I've had to take, y'all, it helped me to build better. I've been in business for the last almost 12 years. And I've took a lot of L's. I've made a lot of mistakes. I trusted a lot of people that said, hey, build your business like this. Do it like this. Don't do it like this. Da-da-da. You know, all the things that they told me of how I needed to build. And I took their advice and I lost money. Come on, I lost time. I had to reroute my business. All of the different kind of things. Been there, done that. But it helps me to build better. There are some things, I'm going to say it again, that you can't get in a course. There's some things that even going through my coaching that you're just going to have to learn. Now, there are things as you get a good coach that I'm telling you will help you to create better systems, right? They will create better things that are in place that will help you. Right? I'm going to help give you the blueprint of how to safeguard your business. But let me tell you something. Me being your coach don't mean that your business is challenge proof. Come on. It doesn't mean that you're problem proof. It doesn't mean that because I'm your coach, you're not going to go through things. It just means, hear me, you don't have to go through it by yourself. But the first thing you got to know, and I'm going to keep saying this, is that I belong in the room. I belong in this lane, Leah. I belong. I'm going to sell all the houses. I'm going to be known as the one that when you need a house sold, I'm going to be the one you come to, period. Because I belong here. I'm supposed to be here. You have to know it. And once you grab a hold of that, like Leah can tell her testimony better than I can. But me and Leah, we've been rocking for a long time. And I remember Leah being in a place where she did not feel like she belonged. And she came to one of the bosses retreats. And when I tell y'all, she was operating in a totally different lane. Behind the scenes, I said, Leah, you know, like you're capable of this. When I tell y'all, she came to one of the bosses retreats that I did. And when I tell y'all after that, it wasn't nothing. I didn't give Leah no information that she didn't already know. What I gave her was the motivation and the inspiration and pushed her to let her know, Leah, you belong in that room. You belong in that lane. And ever since then, Leah has literally owned that lane, period. We operating and we hiding and we in spaces that we know we're not supposed to be in instead of being in the lane that we're supposed to be in because of imposter syndrome. Let me take the lower seat. Let me take the back seat. Let me just make a little bit of money. Why are you just making a little bit of money when you should be making a lot of money? And then she said, the Boston retreat changed my life. I would tell her all the time, like, girl, you got it. Leah used to sit, listen, Leah, that's my girl. She don't mind. I can tell a little bit of her. She'll come, she'll sit on my couch. She'll be like, I just don't know. I'd be like, what you don't know? Do you know the God that you serve? Do you know who you are? Do you know what you're capable of? Girl, get up. I don't want to hear God going to provide. God is going to do it. That's who you need people in your life. You don't have to have me, but you need people in your life that remind you of who you are, right? They say, do you know what you're capable of? Do you know you belong in this room, Deshaun? Do you know that this is the lane you're supposed to be in? Like, you need people in your life that don't mind being your cheerleader, not jealous of you. Come on. But that's going to hold you accountable because you belong here. You belong in this room. You belong in this lane. Now, some of our don't feel like we're prepared is us. Because here's the thing, when you don't feel like it's a space that you're supposed to be in, you also don't always do the work. So, some of what we're feeling, y'all, is the fact that we're not prepared. What do I always say to Taryn? Taryn, when I say Taryn, love it, is that there is peace and preparation, right? And I can say there's peace and preparation because that when we are prepared, it brings a level of peace to us. Now, you're not going to know everything, right? But make sure you do your research. Come on. Make sure you're doing the work. Make sure you're putting things in place, writing stuff out. Good morning. But we can no longer say that I failed because God didn't want it for me. No, God wanted it for you. You just wasn't prepared for it. So for some of us, your imposter syndrome and you feeling like I don't belong here is because you haven't done the work. So that's the flip side of this. This is our other part of motivation because I need us to do the work. Okay. I need us to do the research. I need us to get in the right rooms. I need us to make sure that we are maximizing our assignments. Come on, y'all. Listen, you got to get up. It's not going to fall in your lap. I know sometimes we want the right people, the right course, the right whatever. But here's the thing. Sometimes you're not going to find it. And I'm going to tell y'all the prayer that I prayed. I'm about to help somebody this morning. Let me tell y'all the prayer that I prayed. I prayed this prayer probably about 14 years ago. And the prayer that I prayed, not because I don't want to pay people what they're worth, I was in a place that I did not have the money. And I told God, I said, God, I need you to download into me the information that people pay for. Because right now, Father, I really don't have the money that I needed because I was wanting to go into coaching, right? And I wanted to coach, but the coach cost a lot of money. Okay. And I was like, God, I really don't have it. I said, but God, I need you to show me. I have never taken one business class. I do not have a business degree. I do not have a finance degree. I do not have a marketing degree, right? I'm going to help you. But let me tell y'all, I did not know these things. And I prayed and I asked God, I said, God, I need you to show me the things, I feel the Holy Ghost, that people pay for. And when I tell you guys, the Father has done just that. And I could not understand, even when I wanted to get into certain coaching programs that say, write the vision and make it plain. The Lord will not let me. I'm gonna tell you why. Because sometimes it's almost like, and this is just for me, it was like the Lord just wanted to deal with me how he wanted to deal with me. He wanted me to build how he wanted me to build. Like when I tell y'all he is the best teacher, y'all go back and read Jeremiah. You know, oftentimes we feel like we need prophetic coaches and these type of coaches and literally. And I can tell y'all when I read Jeremiah, it changed my whole life. Go back and read Jeremiah. The Bible in Jeremiah, the Bible literally shows you how the Lord taught Jeremiah about his gift. Go back and read. I'm in the word. He literally showed him how to operate in his gift. He was like, oh my God, I can't. Anyway, go back and read it. He's like, what do you see? What do you hear? He was sharpening him to be able to know how to discern what he was feeling and hearing and seeing. What I'm saying is this is that the Holy Ghost will show you, man. I know, or whatever you believe, right? It is a teacher. And I'm telling y'all, let me tell y'all how much of this became alive. I finally got the money to do coaching, right? I signed up for 12 months of coaching. It was like maybe $1,000 a month, roughly, right? I signed up for coaching. When I signed up for coaching, she was like, hey, I'm going to drop my ebooks to you because all my coaches get my ebooks, right? And this is she was like, I need you to set up all your finances like this. And then I need you to send me your weekly finances so that we can go through and just see how your business is going, right? I kid y'all not. When this lady sent me her ebook, I've never seen her ebook a day in my life. When she sent me her ebook, how about I was already doing everything in the ebook? I was already doing it. I kept on feeling like I was missing something. I kept on feeling like I didn't belong. And when I got on the phone with this coach, she was the one that told me, she was like, "You are one of my best coaching students." She said, "I never have to tell you what to do. I never have to, guide you too much. Like, you always got your homework." She said, "When you came, you know all of your numbers, you know all of your bills, you know all of your income." She said, "People get on the line with me and they don't know any of these things." It let me know. Let me tell y'all something. It confirmed to me. I'm confirming it to you that I belonged in the room. I kept feeling like I was missing something. I kept feeling like, I didn't have it. I kept feeling like I was inadequate. And then I got in the room with the coach and she's like, "Do you know that you already doing what you need to be doing? You got it." And that's all I came to tell somebody this morning is that you got it. You are capable. You already dominating in this space. You are already killing it. And no, you may not have the millions and the hundreds and the thousands and all of that you may think that you need, but that's not what you need right now. You are prepared for the moment. Come on. You are prepared for the moment. You are prepared for where you're supposed to be right now. And you got to know it. Come on. You got to know it. You're so welcome, Terry. You have to know it that I belong here. You are called to who you're called to. Listen, you're not for everybody. You're not going to be your community may not ever grow past 50. But those 50 people need you. Here's the part that we miss though is this, that one person waters. When one person plants, another person waters, but God is the one that gives the increase. You got to know which one you are. And sometimes grace and peace. Sometimes you want to be the seed and the water. Sometimes you want to sow the seed and think that you're going to see it grow. And sometimes you may not be the one that sees the seed that grows. And you may not be the one. You got to know what part that you play. You have to be discerning of what is my role. So your community, my church may never grow past, we had 65 partners and we may never grow past 65. But here's the thing. I know without a shadow of a doubt that I'm called to the 65 people that I'm called to, period. That's what I know. So your community may never grow past 100. You may not ever get 100 members. You may not ever get to be as large as some of these other people. But here's the thing. You may just be the one that plants the seed. That's it. Maybe God is not calling you to have a big, large team like other people. Maybe he wants you to be able to cultivate the small team. But here's one thing that I know is this, is that when the Bible talks about how one can chase and two can chase, right? Is that there is what is called multiplication. Right. And when it comes to multiplication, I'm about to help you, is that you don't know how many people, Josh, are attached to that one person. So I got one person that comes, but that one person that comes is connected to 15 families. And so when you encounter this one person, you are literally connected to 15 other families. You don't see those 15 other families. I feel God on this. But that one person is connected to 15 people. And you may not be the one that reaches directly to those 15 people, but that one person that you're making impact on is directly affecting those 15 families. See, you don't always see the multiplication. You don't always see the level of impact. But I promise you, I'll never forget that this girl, she came into my inbox and she said, "I've been watching you for a long time." One of my girls in my friend group shared with me a live that you did. And she said, "I've been following you ever since." You don't always see the level of impact. That one person invited multiple people, and those multiple people are now watching the live. Here's the thing. When you on the live, I can't see how many people are watching the live. There are some people that don't even all the way click the live. They watch it so no one knows that they're watching, right? So you don't even know who's watching you. People see your statuses and they may never love what you post, but they love what you post. Sometimes people are afraid for other people to see that they love something because they're afraid of what people are going to know about their life. Because sometimes I may, post something that's a little shaky. It's okay, right? But understand that you belong in where you are. Own the lane that you're in. Own the region that you're in. Own the community that you're in. Own the local church that you serve. Own it. Some of you, the reason why you cannot get the much is because you don't steward the little well. It's in the word. You got to learn how to. I'm going to tell y'all how I grew. I promise you. I've been coaching. Some of y'all just now finding out, who I am. But I've been doing this for 7 years now. And what got me to this place is I am consistent. I don't care about numbers. I don't care about how many people get on these lives. I don't care. Did I tell you I'll go live? I just go live. Whoever gets on, gets on. Sometimes it's 2 people. Sometimes it's 10. Sometimes it's 20. But I never care. You know why? Because I realize that when I speak, whoever is supposed to hear it is going to get it. Now, it's another story when you are having events, because I believe that there should be a level of marketing, right? You should be marketing some things because you want to make sure that there's a maximum amount of people that are in the room. But when it comes to like going live and different things like that, I don't get caught up in numbers. When I have events, I told y'all, right? I had an event. We had a pop-up here, entrepreneur pop-up here in Richmond Hill, right? 17 people came to the first one. Amazing, right? Had another one, same marketing to the same people, same thing. 2 people came. I didn't care. I'm telling y'all, when I tell you I didn't care, I didn't care. I set my presentation up and I taught that presentation like it was a room full of people. I mean, a room full of people. I keep showing up. Can I tell y'all, keep showing up? Stop being afraid of numbers. The more consistent you are, the more you build trust. And the reason why people don't trust you is because you're not consistent. Book them coaching, y'all. They're good. Have your tissues as well. Listen, you are right. You might cry a little bit. I ain't gonna lie. You may cry just a tiny bit. But we got to learn how to keep showing up. Sometimes for some of you all, and I'm just going to give you guys this nugget, right? So for some of us, you may be trying to offer too much. So maybe come down on your offer, right? That's a real good business nugget. Sometimes like you may be trying to sell too much and do too much. So sometimes it's more beneficial for you to lock in on one good thing and then build, right? Lock in on one good thing and build. I'm gonna tell y'all how I became extremely successful in the hair business is because I locked in on one thing and I don't budge. I don't care y'all want braids. I don't care all the other things y'all want. I'm gonna tell you this is what I do. I'm not doing no long drawn out twists. These are the sizes that I do. I'm not doing a whole bunch of color because that's not what I want to do. You're gonna come and get you this cute little silk press. I'm gonna trim you up, add a little curl because that's what I'm known for, and I'm gonna send you out the door. Right, I'm gonna come in. I'm going to sculpt you. I'm gonna give you a good hair loss restoration plan. All those wonderful things, and I'm gonna send you on your way. That is my lane. I learned how to own my lane to the point that I don't market. People find me. They look for me. They search me out. I got a lady that lives in Waycross. She drives 2 hours every 2 weeks. I got people that live in Atlanta. I got people that live in Florida that drive 4 and 5 hours to come to me. Why? Because I took my lane. I own my lane. And when it comes down to the money, I don't have no problem with saying, hey, this is how much it costs. Either you want it or you don't. I don't know what to tell you. And it has nothing to do. Here's the thing. It's not being cocky and all that kind of stuff. I have learned how to own my lane. And here's the other thing that I was telling y'all earlier is that I steward my lane. I've done the work. So one thing you ain't never going to do is tell me I don't know what I'm talking about, right? Because I've done the work. I've taken the classes to position myself to be what I am. So one thing you can't do, one time this lady came in and she was like, well, I don't really see, why you charge X, Y, and Z. I said, well, I told you what your doctor couldn't tell you. So that should say something right there, right? You've been going to the doctor for a couple of years and they couldn't tell you what was happening with you. You came and you had a 1 hour session with me and I was able to tell you everything that you had going on. So, and then afterwards, you're like, "Oh, well, can I go ahead and get started?" And my answer is no. Because here's the thing: if you're already questioning my ability and my prices on this end, you gonna get on my nerves throughout this entire process. I don't feel like it. All money is not good money. And here's the thing: that was like a $2,500 client. No, ma'am. I don't like to be stressed when I have to come to work. I don't like to be stressed when my clients leave. Okay. So all money is not good money. And I've matured to the place that I can own my lane. And that if you don't, there's somebody else that will. Come on. I've learned that I belong here, that I'm supposed to be here. And so whether you choose to receive it or not, that's totally up to you. And people don't like that type of attitude because, they feel like you should, oh, just be grateful that you got a client. Yeah, I could be grateful that I got a client, but I also need the client to know that you are grateful that I'm your stylist. And you should be grateful that I am who I am, right? That's it. All money is not good money. You should be appreciative. As much as I'm appreciative to you, you should be appreciative. And so if you are questioning, that's it, a scarcity mindset. If you are questioning my consultation fee, you are going to question my entire process. That's not a good client. That's not a ready client. And that's not a client I desire. This is the thing about businesses. Know your client. Know the type of client you want to show up. And not only do I know them, but I call them to me. Okay. I got a prayer board in my room. And I tell the Father, this is the type of client I want. These are the type of people I desire to be in my chair. These are the type of people that I desire to coach. And I am so intentional. Listen, my coaching is not for everybody. Grateful and gifted is she mutual. Absolutely. And listen, I'm telling y'all, my coaching is not for everybody. Leah will tell you. I am very, very stern. I am. I'm very stern. I'm very intentional. I'm going to love on you. I'm not saying I'm not going to love you, but I'm also not going to let you waste your money, and I'm not going to let you waste my time. So when they come in, I'm like, when you come in the door, I'm like, I want to make sure that you are in the best place. Let's have a conversation with your spouse. Make sure your spouse is on board with this. You know why? Because we about to go to work. It's about to be a little intense. Because I've learned how to own my lane. I know I'm not for everybody. You know why I'm not for everybody? Because the first thing I'm going to deal with is what we're talking about right now. We got to deal with your mindset. Because if you don't believe you belong in the room, it doesn't matter how many systems we create. It doesn't matter how many business plans we create. If you never believe you belong in the room, those business plans sit on the shelf and you don't do nothing with them. So until you are a believer and you can get past through your mental concerning what you are building, it doesn't matter what we do. You have to believe, BB, that you belong in the room. How many times have we written books and we written out this and we got LLC, some of y'all that you're doing nothing with them? Because even after getting the plans and knowing what you're supposed to be doing, it still sits on the shelf because we still don't believe that we're capable of being in the room. Some of you got accomplishments. You've been in rooms already with some of the greats and still downplay who you are. So today, this was just your reminder. Come on, y'all, that you belong in the room. If you don't hear, listen, today, every place that your feet tread and go, I belong here. I'm supposed to be here. And then I want you to also continue to do the work. like you know that you're supposed to be here. That even when challenges come, when doubt comes, create things in your life that combat. I was talking to a girl and she was like, well, how do you, navigate through that space? I said, I write out my accomplishments, write out what you've done well, and read it. You're so welcome, Leah. Read it, y'all. How many houses have you sold? Come on. How much money have you already made? What have you already done? Listen, not even just what you've already done, y'all, but what have you already had to overcome? Some of you have gone through challenges. No mom raising you, no father raising you, having a child at a young age, right? People walking away, losing everything, getting it all back. And you're still standing. Sometimes it's not even just, I feel God on this. It's not even the challenges that qualify us, but your ability to bounce back is what qualifies you. Your ability to keep going is what qualifies you. When David was going to fight Goliath, he said, listen, do you understand what I've already endured? I've been doing this. Let me run you my resume. Some of y'all need to look yourself in the mirror today and run that resume. Run it. I had to run it for myself when God was like, oh, I want you to go pastor the well. I was like, oh, God, no, I don't know about that. God was like, you've been pastoring people? Come on. You've been doing this. You're not new to this. You've been guiding people. You've been a spiritual covering for people. You've been managing on all these different levels. You've been doing this. You've been able to endure and work through this warfare. And you're still standing. You've been in listen, I'm in such a, y'all know I'm super transparent. So my shop has always been emptied and it's full, like just through it. So in the last couple of years, like the shop has been full. Like I've had every booth filled, right? And so I'm in this transition where one of my girls want to go to school, one of the girls going back home to take care of a child, and then another one went and got her own shop. And I'm so excited for all of them and all the great things that they have been able to do. But the timing is like, now listen here, God. And I felt like, God, I was losing everything at one time. I was like, God, this is crazy. But then God reminded me. He was like, but you've been here before. This ain't the first time that I lost some people. COVID was tough, right? And God was like, and you were able to bounce back. Like I did not fail you. I did not leave you. And so for those of you that are even in moments, and here's the thing, it will make you feel like you're not capable, right? Imposter syndrome started to come in because I was like, dang God, like I lost all these people. Like, are people going to think like my shop, da, da, da. And God was like, why do you care what people think? First of all, that's number one. But number two, you've been here before. I'll never leave you, nor will I forsake you. So even when the thoughts creep into your mind, you have to have things in place, Tennille, that combat those thoughts. Leah said, jumping back into work this month from maternity leave, and I needed this. Yes, girl. Your baby is just a part of your new normal. And it's just another transition that you're navigating. And you are still going to go back and crush the game. You ain't really ain't never really left, for real. Let's be honest. But you're going to go back in this thing and crush your game and give yourself some grace, Leah. Y'all, Leah just had a baby. That's my niecey grandbaby, because that's my girl. But give yourself some grace. That's the last thing I'll say before I go. Y'all, is give yourself grace. She said she just had a baby. She's about to get back in it. And oftentimes when challenges come, we don't give ourselves enough grace. So give yourself some grace. It's going to be okay. It's going to be all right. Just because it's hard don't mean it's not God. But I'm going to tell y'all what I do all the time. I'm telling y'all all my prayers so y'all can pray these prayers. God, this belong to you. This house belong to you. These kids belong to you. This shop belong to you. And most definitely, this church belonged to you. And because they all belong to you, I believe that you're going to take care of us. I believe that when it's Psalms 23 says that you are my shepherd and I lack nothing. Come on, Leilani. I walk that thing out. I don't know how. I promise y'all. I don't know how I'm making it. You know what I'm saying? I don't. In my own mind that I can rationalize. However, I know that it's God that's carrying me through. And sometimes it can feel long because I'm like, God, I've been building this thing. God, I've been building this thing. And when is it going to break for me? But sometimes you got to take a flashback and look back over your life because I'm not where I used to be. Come on, I'm not there no more either. I used to struggle real bad. I tell y'all my testimony. I used to have to put stuff on credit cards. And I remember one year, my goal was I said, God, I will not put another bill on this credit card. I'm not doing it. And from that day forward, I have not. From that day forward, that would be my prayer. I'm telling y'all, you have to be so specific and so intentional. I'm trying to go, but I know somebody needs this morning. I am so specific and so intentional about how I pray. I remember going to a ministry and they wanted me to lead praise and worship. And I was like, okay, God, what you want me to do with this? You know what I'm saying? And I had a business. And my prayer has always been, I said, God, I said, if you want me to do X, Y, and Z, I need you to send me someone to take care of my children. My children are everything to me. I know y'all know, if you follow me, you know I don't play about my kids. I don't leave my kids with any old body. I just don't treat my kids any old kind of way. I believe in being a present mother. Hear me. And so when God was having me to operate in this entrepreneur space and this in church, I said, God, send me someone to take care of my children. And I'll never forget one of the ladies, Rosie, she be watching sometimes, and I love her. She is an older white lady, and I love her with everything within me. Rosie took care of my children for probably almost 4 to 5 years. She was our nanny. And when I tell you a blessing, a blessing. Some of y'all gonna miss y'all blessing because it don't look like what you think it's supposed to look like. But Rosie took care of my children. She traveled with us, went with us. I never had to worry about a thing. Those are the prayers that I prayed. This is such a blessing, encouragement to the Lord, blessing with the new space. And I'm believing God to send me renters. Absolutely. And I'm standing with you, Tennille. I'm going to add you to my prayer board that God is going to bless you the same way that I'm seeking God for my own. I am praying that God will bless you with not just renters. Tell God what type of renter you want. Listen, I want you to pray and say and write it down. Okay. Now, whatever you believe in, I don't like to get too, when I'm in this space, I just talk about what I believe in. Whatever somebody else chooses to believe is what they choose to believe. Okay. So I want you to be so intentional, and I want you to write out what is the type of renter that you want. What is the culture that you want to have in your establishment, so that when the renters come, let me tell you something. This is so good to know. I hope you're still watching. When you have to be so intentional, because let me be honest, that I didn't even really, anybody that was in my shop, I didn't send for them. They came to me. I knew the type of salon that I wanted. I always wanted a very diverse salon. I wanted a salon that all different cultures felt comfortable coming into my space. And so I always was very intentional about the culture of what I wanted to create. And I wanted the people that align with that culture. And this is the thing. When I had like people that would come and go, I wouldn't get mad because I'd be like, ooh, maybe they just weren't conducive to the culture. And so now I'm so grateful. Even the ones I got now, we just got a new girl. So I'm grateful. Praise God. Amen. So I got 2 others. I need 2 more spots filled. And I've been telling God 2 more spots filled, right? But the 2 that I have, like, we're just so spiritually in tune. You know what I'm saying? I love it. We all on the same page. You know, we can talk about God in our own personal lives amongst each other, and there not be no offense because that's just the culture. We take all different types of clients. I had a girl walk in the other day, a Caucasian girl. She came in, she was like, "Oh, I don't know, like, girl, come on in the door." Cut their hair up. She was like, "Oh my God, this is what I've been wanting." You know what I'm saying? Like, we service everybody, and that's just what we do. But anyway, I want you to be very intentional. And this is for anybody. Hear me. When you're building, when you're writing, here, this is not just even for a building, for relationships. Be intentional about writing out what you desire. So that when something shows up, you need to be able to look at what you wrote out and say, does this align with what I said? Okay. Does this align with what I said? This is why one of the first things that we do in business is acknowledge who is your client and who's not your client. You need to know who you're servicing so that we just don't take anyways. But anyway, you belong in the room. That's it. You belong in the room. You belong in the room. You belong in the lane. You belong in the space that you are in right now. And listen, we just going to be intentional. That's all. We are going to be more intentional. Those of you that have businesses that are trying to grow, looking for some coaching, looking for accountability, y'all hit me up. I have so many different types of coaching. I have coaching where you can spend the day with me. I have coaching where we can spend the month together. We can spend 3 months together, whatever that looks like for you. You know what I'm saying? Whatever kind of accountability you need, listen, I can help you. Let me help you. Let me hold you accountable. Let me help guide you. Listen, that's so good. I'm grateful that's a one-time word. Listen, I love that. Leah said, I will be more intentional. That's our word. I'm going to be more intentional. My prayers are going to be intentional. The way I operate and do things, I'm going to be more intentional. Stop just haphazardly doing stuff. Write it out. The Bible says, write the vision, make it plain. All right. I love y'all so much. I thank y'all for journeying with me this morning. I think this may be my new time. Maybe I might come on here these Wednesdays, maybe like a little 8:30 to 9:30 time. Y'all let me know if that time works for y'all or if there's another time that works. But I love these moments. That was a question I was about to ask. Yes, I do. I do. I offer coaching. Just hit you can text that number that's on the screen right now. If you text that number, screenshot it, text that number, and then we can talk. I can get with you and I could just let you know like what I offer. And I have something that is for everybody. Like I said, if you just need to sit down for a couple hours, like, listen, I don't have the money to do some full-time coaching. Can we just do a couple hours and we can just dive deep into it? I can do that too. Okay. Yes, this is a good time. Yes, I love y'all so much. I've been committed to coming on here more often. I've been kind of doing a good job, right? My schedule is lightened up a little bit, but I try to give y'all all that I can give, right? I can't coach individually everybody, but I try to come and drop the nuggets, try to drop some knowledge that's going to help us to be better. The main thing is I want us not to get stuck. I need us to keep going. People need what you have. And if you continuously stay in this place, people are not going to get it. So I need you. Listen, they need you. And remember, you belong.